Hey everybody, just want to do this video about a feature that came out in the most recent version of Logic 10.7.8, which is the functionality of selecting the record arm for different tracks. So in the past, and this is something that has taken me now weeks since this was released to get used to, and I'm still not even fully used to it, but in the past, we would just select a track if we wanted to record, record arm it. But if we would select a different track, it would switch over to that just like it's doing right there. But the minute now that we push the record arm button, if I go down to a different track, that initial one is locked in and we can go to other tracks, edit, do all that stuff, and it's not going to switch the record enable button to any other track unless we actually go down and select that. That little minor difference is making such a huge difference in my workflow, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it was an easy transition because I'm so used to the previous functionality, so used to just clicking on a header and have it switch to that now when I switch tracks, I think sometimes it's going to move the instrument to it, but then I have to remind myself I had it record armed. If I want to work the previous way, I just don't ever actually click the actual R button when I'm testing out instruments. Because then when I switch to the other track, so the R being red versus the button being red and the R being white is a huge difference now. And I do want to show you this because the R is red but the button is gray. If we push record here, it will record into that track. It goes red for the moment when you're recording. Let me see if I can do this so you can see that. It switches over to that. And then when you stop recording, it goes back to the R being red. So this arm track functionality is completely different than it has been in the past. It allows us to have a little bit more stability. It allows us to work like nearly every other single DAW out there. I mean, this is how Pro Tools would work if you'd have to actually record on the track and it wouldn't switch if you switched tracks. So if you're on a previous version of Logic and you come to 10.7.8, you're going to notice that this is different, but you may not even fully realize what the difference is. I hope this little explanation helps you and it showcases perhaps what such a small change can do. In reality, it is literally, as I said, taking me a long time to get used to this new function because it was such a habit over so many decades of working a certain way. Then all of a sudden they just changed that one thing. I like the change, but man, there have been a number of times when I've just clicked on another track and not even realized I didn't switch the sound from it. It's like, what is happening? And you have to get used to clicking on that button. Anyway, I hope this helps a little bit. I hope you see that this one function is both awesome and a little bit troublesome in terms of your workflow. It may change how you work a little bit, but don't be frustrated because I think in the long run, I think this is one of those positive small changes that in the long run is going to have a big impact on a lot of our workflows.